Hi, folks. I'm Ryan Mallory, and I'm here with Ara. And Ara is from Pathfinders, and I wanted him to come down and tell us a little bit about it. Steve Bannery introduced us. He's here off stage, off camera, and kind of something that helps out our community. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure, absolutely. So first of all, my name is Ara. I'm a person in long-term recovery, and I think it's important to, especially in working in the field, in peer support, which is what Pathfinders is a peer support. I mean, what our resilience and recovery program is here in Jackson County, which is a program of the Pathfinder Network. So it started about a little over a year ago. The Pathfinder Network was a contract between Community Justice and us, and it was kind of the brainchild of Ara Aguirre, which is Community Justice Director. And I was part of his initial, they used to call it the Breakfast Club, and he, kind of was handpicking people, and just we'd meet up every week or so, and once a month, bi-weekly or bi-monthly, and he would just have different questions and things he was interested in. We had no idea what he was trying to come up with and what his objective was, but he he was excited to actually put together a peer support program, and so contracts went out, and Pathfinder got the contract, and so. Pathfinder Network does amazing work. I was working for Access at the time. I worked for the Bridges program there at Access, providing subsidy and case management. And when I heard about the Pathfinder Network through Eric coming into the Valley, I was super excited. My background is I spent a lot of time incarcerated, drug addiction, grew up in gang neighborhoods, all of that. I grew up in Southern California and in the Riverside County area. And so when I moved up here on Interstate Compact, and I was on probation, and I'd never been treated by probation officers the way I was treated by here in Jackson County.
Good or bad?
Good. And I was like, is this guy serious? Like, he's trying to be my friend? Like, who is this guy? You know what I mean? And I think he was trying to be my friend. He was just treating me like a human being, like a person. You know what I mean? Which for the first time,
you met somebody that cared about your success.
Absolutely. It was rare, and I really didn't think that. I really thought law enforcement, they were on that side, I was on this side, and part of that is because of that wreckage that we create in our addiction, right? And so when I heard, I was excited when I started developing this relationship with the probation officer that I had. I successfully got off probation, and I was able to go back to school, get my degree in human services, and start working in this field and working with Ara Aguirre and watching this whole process come together. It's been amazing. The Pathfinder Network now offers a program that's called the Resiliency and Recovery Program. So the Pathfinder Network has a Resilience and Recovery Program here in Jackson County. We provide peer support services for justice-impacted individuals and their families. Like I said, it was grossly underestimated the need in Jackson County, and so in our first year, Resilience and Recovery served over 540 clients.
Oh wow!
We have 50 classes, or groups I should say, were completed, and it's been amazing. So we just, as of yesterday, we just had a grand opening of our new building, which
Where's
is
that at?
Off of Hawthorne. It's on Hawthorne Street, 48 Hawthorne Street, and they we have it's an additional, I believe, like 10 peers there. And so all the caseloads are full. All the referrals come directly from probation. We're really excited about a collaboration between DHS Self-Sufficiency, DHS Child Welfare, Community Justice, and the Pathfinder Network. We just opened up a building. It's called the Collaborative. We're actually going to have a grand opening of that building across the street from probation on Main Street. Those referrals are going to be are coming from anywhere, but they just have to be justice involved individuals. Mm-hmm. The peer support works. That's one thing I want to say.
Sorry, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about relative to peer support. I mean, if I'm looking for somebody that's going to give me advice on just about anything in life, somebody that's already been through it, if I develop websites and do some things like that. Mm-hmm. If I want advice on how something should be, I want to hear it from somebody that's been through it.
Right. And so that's exactly right. Especially because, when we come into recovery, we're apprehensive. We have this wreckage of the past that seems insurmountable. We have all these things that we've counted against us. The odds are stacked against us. And so when seeing someone, for me, when I came into the rooms of recovery, I saw individuals that that have unbelievable lives and had changed their life for the good, were a pillar of their families, had gotten into recovery and found their family members and other family members getting into recovery as a result of their decisions.
The example from somebody that's been through it is more meaningful to somebody that's stuck in it than it is to maybe a counselor that's never been there, right?
That's true. And so I don't want to take anything away from counselors that haven't necessarily been there, because there's some amazing counselors out there. But I just feel like the connection that's there, the ability to really know what that,
to trust faster.
Absolutely.
Probably,
the
right?
building rapport is much quicker.
Until there's trust,
there's not really anything.
The advice is
Exactly. And so, and the Pathfinder Network does amazing at that. They provide so much training. They provide so many services. I believe monthly right now that they've actually been able to, they've been paying certain clients rent. There's a lot of different things. They've been helping people get work clothes. They help people get gas for wherever they need to go for appointments.
Help them get back on their feet.
Right. Help them with bus passes. Help them mostly being able to walk alongside them instead of, trying to point them. You need to go here. You need to go there.
If you've gone too far down that rabbit hole, those simple things that we take for granted, being able to get from here, point A to point B, having food on the table and a roof over your head, and getting those things back for some folks is like big.
Absolutely.
But then to be offered clothes for a job and help finding a job.
Right. So it's about removing some of those barriers.
Improves people's self-worth so they can get out of that stack of stuff we were talking about off camera.
Absolutely. Reducing barriers. And once you start seeing other people do it, you believe it can be done too. There's a blueprint to how to get this done, how to do it, how to get clean. And if I could do it, I can change my life. I can go back to school. I got expelled twice in high school. Okay. So for me to go back and get my degree, become a certified recovery mentor, become a certified alcohol and drug counselor, 1R. I still got to go take my test, but I have my hours. I never thought in a million years that would be possible for me. And so I want to just share that if it's possible, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And, there's such value in the addict. I don't want to speak religious, but, God pulls from, God qualifies the called. He doesn't call the qualified. And so that's something that I've had to come to terms with, that like sometimes I get imposter syndrome. Like, am I really doing this now? How am I here in this position? And it's all about grace for me. It's about grace from God. And part of that for me so far has been the Pathfinder Network and their mission and values as an organization, and how they seriously want to help and change the community.
I've noticed just in recovery in general, there seems to be a higher percentage of people that come out of it doing well, and they want to help more people. They want to go back to you want to go back to school.
No, absolutely.
Want to reach out to more people. I keep meeting people that have made it through. They're doing well now.
Sure.
And they still want to help people, or they still want to go help with a meeting, or they still want to be a sponsor.
It took, for me, it took the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous to realize because, you come in, you're like, I have all this stuff. I have all these felonies. I have all this stuff in the past. No one wants to hire me. I'm not doing good to anybody.
Right.
Until I realized what service work was. I was allowed to, I got to run the Candlelight meeting in Talent for about 14 months straight. And during that time, I developed such a love for service and serving other people,
Yeah.
And I figured, okay, look, if I could figure out a way to do this and get paid for it, it would be amazing. You know what I mean? And so that's exactly what we've done. And it's needed, it's definitely needed.
Could it be said that helping people is addictive?
It absolutely can be. It's absolutely.
It's a good kind. It's a good kind.
Absolutely, it can be.
Yeah.
So,
where do you see Pathfinders headed?
Well, so I'm the program manager of another program, part of the Pathfinder Network, called Parenting Inside Out. Parenting Inside Out is a combination of a $2.5 million
Grant.
Yeah, $2.5 million grant, but it was also a. I just totally lost.
It's all right. It's all right. Wait, cut and I'll back it up.
Okay, please do.
Yeah, you're all right. You're all right.
A $2.1 million study that was done between Oregon Social Learning Center and Department of Corrections. And what they did was they created this curriculum out of it. It's the only evidence-based curriculum, parenting curriculum, that's designed for parents that are incarcerated. And so in the last 10 years, it's evolved to a point now where it's It's adapted as the parenting curriculum for 38 states, departments of corrections throughout
Is
the
this
United
part of what I
States.
hear people call the Mom and Dad's program, or is that something different? It's out of the courts.
Mom and Dad's program is a local program through I believe that's an on-track program.
Okay.
That's just a local, it's a local recovery, inpatient recovery center where people can bring the parents can bring their children. Where this is, I do like contracts with departments of corrections, and we train their staff and their their people to facilitate parenting inside out.
I see.
Yeah, and so it's part of the Pathfinder Network. It's kind of it started with the Pathfinder Network as from infancy. It's always been part of the main program, and so I'm just super blessed. What's really interesting is that 7 years ago, when I got clean, I was incarcerated in Bakersfield, California, on the farm, and I was able to take a parenting program, a parenting class, and I was like, I didn't have any kids of my own, but I was helping my mother with her adopted granddaughter, my brother's children, right? And so I was on the farm, and I started taking this parenting program, and it was kind of switched my thinking, and it helped to since that program, I never would have thought that fast forward 7 years later that I would actually be the program manager and doing the contracts and selling that curriculum to other agencies around the world. We're in Australia and Canada. There's it's really exciting work that the Pathfinder Network is involved with, and to see that whole circle of where it started for me, sitting in the classroom, and to now to be program manager for that has been really exciting.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So if people want to help, sometimes, folks see a video or folks see something online and they like what they hear and they want to help. What's the best way that people out there could help Pathfinders?
Well, if you would like,
it's a nonprofit.
It's a nonprofit, so you can feel free to donate, to go online and donate to the pathfinders.org. Also,
you guys will find the website down here.
There's also, we are actually starting to work with getting interns because, as you know, the climate of the workforce.
Some volunteer opportunities.
Yes, there's been some recent intern opportunities we've been using in conjunction with like RCC and other community colleges and and other colleges, I should say, trying to get some interns in the door so they can get their experience and start working on their hours for their CRM or for their CKDAC, whatever it may be. And so it's just, it's coming to pass, and it hasn't really been a lot yet, but we've only been here for a year.
So a good industry for people to get involved in, not just up and coming, exploding right now.
Right.
Since, it seems like since some of the things in the news about big pharma and some of those lawsuits, and people are talking about it more instead of it being so hidden. And anytime it's out in the open, we were talking about this too. Anytime it's a little bit more out in the open, people feel a little bit more influenced. Like everybody knows, I think I can do it. I see an example.
Sure. And the issue with us, here in Jackson County, the issue has been that the peer support and the services we offer work, but we're only been able to offer it to people who are justice impacted. So you have to be on probation or parole.
Got to get arrested first, right?
Right, and so we don't want that to be a barrier on top of it. So we actually have the ability now through at our new building here on 48 Hawthorne Street here in Medford. They're going to have we have a single caseload dedicated for male and female, the people that can come in who have ever been justice impacted at all in any way, shape, or form can come in and don't necessarily have to be on parole probation, and we can start providing. We're just trying to build capacity in that area so that it takes money and it takes time to start to develop those caseloads. So it's exciting work, and I'm blessed to be a part of it. And
this is kind of fun, and I've had people on from different nonprofits in the past, but Steve and I did a talk about addiction and recovery and those kind of things, and we're thinking like Addiction Speaks. We'd like to do more of this. Kind of fun.
Absolutely. And I think to let the community know that there are resources out there and there's people out there who care about people just like you.
Yeah.
You're not. I feel like there's kind of a. This like we're just
start to feel like an outcast, maybe, or
right,
or maybe you're not worthy. Everybody's worthy.
Or you feel like everyone is giving up on you. You feel like you're completely isolated and alone. No one knows how you feel. There's other people that know how you feel and they care about you. So, show up for yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Give yourself a break, and there's a life waiting for you if you're in your active addiction right now. There's a life waiting for you that's beyond your dreams, your wildest dreams. And I believe that wholeheartedly for everybody. And so You don't have to die in this addiction. We've lost a whole generation of people. 100,000 people last year died from opiate overdose. There's no joke out there.
The choices are not very happy if you stay with it too. If you stay in the game, I mean, robbed, shot, stabbed in a deal, or something going bad.
Sure.
Overdose.
Sure.
Is a big thing.
Absolutely.
And if you do it too long, proven drug psychosis, and you end up pushing a shopping cart, talking to yourself without any drugs at all. We don't want that. And there's plenty of room to still have a great life.
Absolutely. Jails, institutions, or death. That's the 3 outcomes typically.
Yeah.
And so if you need help, there's help. So please don't give up on yourself. And the Pathfinder Network is here to help. There's a lot of agencies in this community that would love to help you, or just listen to you, just be present with you, just to be there with you. So, give yourself a break. We believe in you. Believe in yourself.
Thanks for being here, brother.
Thank you.